Gransion? Greetings, all you daily grinders out there. Welcome to the first ever episode of Timmy G's Reviewing Stuff and Stuff. I just want to take, a few minutes to shoot this video and review this grinder that we got in the, this is the Herb Saver grinder in the most recent Daily High Club box. Warning, you've still got time to order the box. It was an amazing box. You've only got a week left to order it. I did not know that this was Be Real from Cypress Hill. I didn't know that he curated this box. When I, take the effort to avoid spoilers, the caveat to that is sometimes I miss things like that. So when I saw the Be Real sticker and stuff, I didn't, connect the two in my head. But it was curated by Be Real of Cypress Hill. It was an amazing box, like I said. The glass piece was amazing, and I was super happy to get this grinder because I needed one. So this is the grinder that we got in the box, and so I want to take a few minutes to talk about this grinder. And I want to pre-apologize that I cannot show you any visual representations of it being used and going through my process. It is what it is. But at any rate, let's not waste any more time. Let's grind into it. Timmy G be reviewing stuff, he be reviewing stuff. Timmy G be reviewing stuff, but not very often. So the first thing I think I should explain is my personal process and the way that I think is best, to use these kind of things. So what I usually do is I load the medicine up in the teeth section of the grinder and get it nice and packed in there pretty good, and then I put a penny down on the screen, aka the pollen catcher, and stick it in the freezer for about half an hour to an hour till it gets nice and cold. Take it out, grind it, shake it real good, and then, separate the medicine from the pollen. The few caveats, I'm going to get to that first. The few cons is, one, there's a little bit too much space in the teeth section, where you initially put the medicine. And that creates a little bit of a problem, because after you grind it up, I found that there was still a few chunks left up there. So it didn't actually grind everything. Another thing is you got to be really, really careful with it to get your sticks out of it. Because I did end up getting a few little pieces of stick down inside of it ground up. But it didn't grind the sticks up to the point where, something like this isn't going to grind the sticks up to the point that, it doesn't matter. And you don't want to be smoking sticks anyway, but that's besides the point. Let's see, the other caveat is I had a lot of pollen and stuff end up outside when you take it apart. So I actually had to use the pollen scraper to scrape the stuff, from like the outside around like this area inside of this, but like around here. So that was a little annoying. I never like to waste anything. So that's, about it, though, as far as the cons go. On the plus side, it grinded up a lot. It, grinded up nice and fine. There was a mountain of pollen in the bottom when I got done. I mean, more than any of the grinders that I've ever used, to be perfectly honest. And if you're using something like I like to use a lot, is a dry vapor. And, when you're cooking and you're loading that up, mine is convection. So it is true vapor, and it is super important to grind it before you load it, because any chunks is going to get in the way of the airflow. So that's pretty important. So having a grinder and using a dry herb vape is super important. I can't stress that enough. But I love using the dry vapor because it's vapor. You get more of the medicine and less carbon monoxide and things like that. But all in all, I will give this grinder 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't feel that the cons are enough to take away from what's good about this thing. And, the other good thing about it is that at first I thought would totally be a con, which is that it's plastic. Even the teeth seem to be plastic in here. But that actually works out really, really well. If you use the same type of method that I use and you stick it in the freezer, and you've ever pulled a metal grinder out of the freezer, it's like you almost have to wear gloves, because it's like, straight freezer burn to your fingers. It's not as bad as trying to grab dry ice, something like that, but, it'll sting the hell out of your fingers. But pulling this out of the freezer being plastic, was a pleasure to touch. It didn't burn my fingers at all. So it was great, So yeah, this is, probably going to be one of the shortest videos I've ever shot, but, I just wanted to come on here and review this thing enough to say, it is awesome. Of course, the $30 price tag on the box is worth it for the glass piece alone. But the fact that we got this grinder inside the box made this one of my, actually, I'm not even going to say one of my favorite boxes that I've gotten from them. It is my favorite box that I've gotten from the Daily High Club, hands down. Everything in the box was super useful, and this was something that I absolutely needed, and I absolutely love it. So thanks for tuning in, and keep on the lookout. I've got more unboxings coming. I got Loot Crate, Lootware, a whole bunch of other stuff coming in the coming weeks. So thanks for tuning in. If you like this, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Timmy G be reviewing stuff, he be reviewing stuff. Timmy G be reviewing stuff, but not very often. Timmy G be grinding stuff and stuff. He's grinding up stuff and stuff. Please smoke me some stuff. Did your mother sew? Tell her to sew this. Oh! I don't like the tone that you're looking at me with. Shh. Do you smell something? Cut. Action. No, not yet. Actually, cut. And, but pulling this out of the oven being cut.